Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching the special presentation of Sansad TV, Rajyapal, with your host Kriti Mishra. And this session is streaming from Raj Bhavan in Kolkata. And joining us right now is a very special guest, Governor of West Bengal, Honorable Dr. C.V Ananda Bose.
I, Dr. C.V Ananda Bose, do swear in the name of God that I will faithfully execute the office of the Governor of West Bengal and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect and defend the Constitution and the law, and that I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of West Bengal.
Dr. C.V Ananda Bose, eminent civil servant, management guru, housing expert, innovator, writer and orator, retired from the Indian Administrative Services in the year 2011. Son of the freedom fighter, Sri P.K. Vasudevan Nair and Srimati C. Padmavathy Amma, former Government of India official, Dr. Bose was born in Kottayam in Kerala. He is married to Srimati L.S. Lakshmi. Dr. Bose holds PhD from BITS Pilani and MA in English Language and Literature from Kerala University. Dr. Bose was chairman of the working group which prepared the development agenda for Kerala presented to Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. Dr. Bose's concept of affordable housing for all Indians is reflected in the national project to provide houses for all. Dr. Bose has been recipient of 33 international and national awards for his outstanding contributions in different fields. In recognition of his pioneering efforts in the field of housing, United Nations has selected his initiatives as global best practice 4 times. He was the head of the prestigious Supreme Court Committee on the Treasures of Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple, Kerala. An internationally renowned orator, Dr. Bose has addressed many prestigious global fora, including United Nations General Assembly. He represented India in the European Council for Nuclear Research, Geneva, and International Fusion Energy Organization, ITER, France. He was also the chairman of Atomic Energy Education Society.
Dr. Bose, welcome to Sansad TV and thank you so much for joining us. So let's begin talking about your life. Illustrious civil servant, social worker, writer, orator, columnist, and of course, motivator and innovator. I will fall short of adjectives to describe the list of achievements. So please take us through your incredible and inspiring journey.
I was born in a small family of just 8 members, and thereby hangs a tale. The family historians say that my great-grandfather asked the family medico, "Is it proper for women to have children after 35? And he replied, no, 35 children are more than enough. Then onwards, my family size came down, we are only 8. But even with the 8, when my mother took me to my father's house, all 8 children, the local English teacher said, the hell is empty, all the devils are here. That is the background of my family from which I come.
Sir, and then civil services?
Civil services, I was first an assistant professor in a college in Pondicherry for a few months. Then I became probationary officer in State Bank of India. It was in State Bank of India that I took the examination for civil service, got into IAS, got my home cadre, Kerala, in 77. And then I was sub-collector, I was district collector, equivalent to the district magistrate here. Then secretary, principal secretary in many departments. I was secretary to the Chief Minister of Kerala. Then I was additional secretary in the Government of India, and I got my promotion as secretary to the Government of India. I retired at the rank of chief secretary from my home state, Kerala. Then worked without, say, pro bono as chairman of some public sector undertakings in Government of India. Then as the advisor to the government of Meghalaya, and then here.
Moving on, sir, you've brought out about 350 publications, more than 50 books consisting of novels, stories, poems. When do you nurture and nourish this flair for writing?
To set records straight, now the number of books has risen to 70.
I stand corrected, sir.
Well, for writing, time is not required if the mind is there. When I was district collector, we had a very illustrious editor, Dr. N.V. Krishnavariyar, who was editing a series of publications from my district, Kollam. Once when we were traveling, he told me, "Collector, you speak well, why don't you write?" Then I told him, "Not getting time, sir." Then he told me, "For writing, time is not required if the mind is there." Now I feel it is correct. I've been able to write everywhere when I travel, in the flight, in the lounge, anywhere. In fact, at times when I get inspired, I get up at 3 a.m. and start writing. Even now, when I got posted as governor, even my wife said, "You won't be able to get time to write." Now, when I get up at 4 a.m., till 7 a.m., nobody is there with me. That is the time when I write. Write means I only dictate my material, whether it is novel, short story, or poems. Where it comes from, I think Wordsworth is right. Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It is spontaneous. When I write poems in particular, I never think of what poem I should write. It just comes like that. It just happens. I think I'm a believer in God. I think Goddess Saraswati manifests herself in you. That is how I write. But after I write a poem, I find it difficult to believe I thought of this subject. I find it difficult to believe the words are chosen by me. It just happens like that, spontaneous overflow.
If poems come spontaneously, what about the ideas? You're known as man of ideas.
As a firm believer in God, I feel that ideas are given by God. Whenever I see a situation which I am not familiar with earlier, I get a solution to that. I don't know how it comes, it just comes. And along with the quality to get it implemented, see, creativity, the source is the same. Whether it manifests itself in the form of writing or as new innovative ideas in administration, I think the source of creativity is the same. Its manifestations may be in different forms.
So, but one of your ideas that has impacted millions certainly is affordable housing. How did you conceive that idea?
See, as I say, necessity is the mother of invention. I am associated with the concept of cost-effective and environment-friendly housing, that is affordable housing. We had massive floods in the district where I was district collector, followed by sea erosion. Thousands of people were rendered homeless. They were rehabilitated in the local schools. But as you know, the schools cannot be used indefinitely for this. I had to send them back. What government gave at that time was 6,000 rupees per house. At that time, actually 15,000 was required for a small house. So I thought, what to do? Then I heard about the low-cost technology that has been developed by institutions like the Central Building Research Institute, Roorkee, Structural Engineering Research Center, Chennai, and others. So I approached them. They gave me the technology. To cut the long story short, first 40 houses were constructed for the flood victims using cost-effective and environment-friendly technology. Then there was no looking back. I thought, don't stop with these 40 houses. An institution was created which is called Nirmiti Kendra, or Building Center. Yes. That is meant to disseminate cost-effective, environment-friendly building technology. To cut the long story short, now that has become a part of the Government of India's housing policy. UN has recommended replication in all the countries, and this institution or this movement or this model has received global best practice nomination selection of the United Nations 4 times. Now, this has been responsible to provide houses for millions in the country. And when the Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, has declared houses for all, yes, now it is coming a reality. Under the dynamic leadership of the PM, anything which he promises, he will do it. and he will promise only what can be done. So I am very hopeful that India will be able to provide houses for all as it is dreamed of by the Prime Minister.
So do you think affordable housing is one of the biggest achievements of the current dispensation?
One of the many achievements of the Prime Minister. It is certainly a laudable objective which has been fulfilled. There are so many other programs and projects which the PM has envisaged for the common man, and it has reached the common man and created a kind of transformation in the country. Transformational is the impact of his programs and projects.
Well, absolutely, sir. And moving on and talking about your journey, you've also been the head of the coveted Supreme Court Committee on the Kerala's Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple. How was the experience? I'm sure it must have been indelible.
I had no experience in that field, but I tried to contact all the experts that are available in the country. Then I found that conservation is to be done very, very carefully, especially antiques, which we have there in the treasure houses there. Climate is important. Yes. There are so many things which are to be taken into consideration when we deal with antiques, especially the size which is there in the Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple. I can say what I saw there is very, very substantial. Now, some of the experts rate it as the largest treasure in the world, but the Supreme Court has told me not to disclose to others what I saw there. So I am not making any such judgments. I can only say it is really very, very substantial.
So talking about very important facet of your personality, you're also known as makeover man. Your strike, your drive against corruption is well known. So what were the important developments, what were the important highlights through that crusade?
I try to take every mission that is given to me very, very seriously. And temperamentally, I hate corruption. See, especially in the IAS and the All India services, what Sardar Patel, who is the progenitor of the service, what he told the first batch of IAS officers is, government will give you everything, but we expect only two things from you. Be nice to the common man. Number two, be incorruptible. Yes. Corruption is a canker which has affected the society. There should be zero tolerance for corruption. I don't know why Government of India sent me to many institutions which are known for corruption. It was almost like cleaning the agent's table. And by the grace of God, I think I could do that in institutions like the NAFED, which is about to be closed down because of losses which mounted up because of corruption there. Of course, I had to send some people to jail. Some senior officers has to be suspended. It's not a pleasant task to do that. But if corruption is to be rooted out, we should take a zero tolerance to corruption. And then I was sent to many other institutions which are known for corruption. By the grace of God, I could make a change there. That may be why some of the media called me the makeover man. It's not my merit. The team which was with me did everything.
So, but this fight must have been really difficult.
It was very, very difficult. In fact, you will find at the end of the journey, end of the fight against corruption, you will be left alone. You have to take the last few steps alone. Nobody will be there to support you. Even those who supported you for various reasons, they may go back. But have faith in you yourself and go ahead. I think it's an uphill task where a lot of confidence is required, courage of conviction is required. Then I think God will take care.
Let's talk about your current responsibilities and role, sir, as Governor of West Bengal. What are the biggest challenges? How has been your journey so far?
Yes, the two factors which helped me here. One is the path cleared by my illustrious predecessor. Otherwise, it would have been an uphill task for me.
Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji.
Because he cleared the path. So I can now travel on the level ground. Otherwise, it would have been an uphill task. I am building upon that strength which he gave me. Now, the second factor, of course, is the people of Bengal. I have been able to gain their trust, it appears to me. I feel that whatever initiative I do here, I get the silent support of the people, particularly the silent majority. That is what I feel, what I experience. Now, I do not find it difficult to deal with the elected government. I have an understanding with my esteemed constitutional colleague, the Chief Minister. Agree to disagree. And number two, whenever I take a decision which is against her wishes, I always inform her. You should be the first one to know it directly from me, not from the media. We have realized both ways. Good fences make good neighbors. She has her space, I have my space. We try not to trespass into each other's space. That is why there is no turf war. And secondly, whatever is to be legally done, constitutionally done, that has been made clear by my predecessor. Now, the public also know this much and no further.
So this reminds me that you recently visited Sandesh Khali and you've also written to Home Ministry about the developments.
You know, we have a culture which believes in yatra naryasti pujyanti ramante tatra devata. Where women are honored, there the gods rejoice. What I saw in Sandesh Khali was the opposite of that. What I would never have dreamt to see, I had to see there. And what I heard there is something which I would never have been wanting to hear. There has been total insecurity for the women. The ecosystem prevailing there was something where women were treated as slaves. Worse than that, their dignity, their honor was at stake. And as they say, the best lack conviction, the worst are full of passionate intensity. Lumpen elements in society had taken over the cultural life of the place. Women had no security there, no protection. It is a kind of helplessness which I saw there, and wanton display of brute power. If I say it is beastly, even the beasts will be ashamed. That was the situation which I saw there, where my sisters and mothers were not at all having a sense of security.
So that's a very sad state of affairs.
Yes, very sad.
So how do you see the situation improving further now?
Now, the inner strength of the women has come out. See, this is a land, Bengal, which is blessed by Kali. When Kali was challenged by Rakta Bij in Kailas, her paramour, Lord Shiva, was not doing anything. And she thought, at this critical moment, when my womanhood itself is questioned, why my paramour, my consort, is not interfering? Then she felt something emerging from within. That was the inner strength of Kali. Once Kali realized her inner strength, she defeated Rakta Bij. That inner strength, the women of Sandesh Khali have also discovered. Before I went there, they were on the street challenging the Marodis. Their inner strength has come out. That, I think, is going to be the building block of the future. And when I went there, I found that something has happened, a kind of transformation has happened within. Now, I'm sure they will be able to defend themselves, but that's not enough. The law has to take its course. We have to see who is the real culprit. Of course, there is another side of the story. The ruling party met me. They told me these are all engineered. That also will be looked into. But the fact remains that now it's not a place safe for women. And we have to see that the entire Bengal becomes a place where life is secure for women.
That's true, sir. All hopes for that. And sir, before we wrap up this conversation, going ahead as Governor of West Bengal, what are your priorities?
My priorities are threefold. One is, of course, welfare of the people of Bengal. Number two, fight against violence. Number three, fight against corruption.
Well, on that note, sir, thank you so much for speaking to us and all the very best for all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Well, viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now from my side.